Alright, round the third. Playing against mono blue. Let's do it. Lost the die roll. You know, they have 3 spell pierces and 2 dive downs. I'm going to keep this on the draw. Hydroid Krasis is pretty good in this matchup, and while I don't have a second land, like I kind of have 3 lands, they're not going to be killing my Llanowar Elves, which is nice. If we draw a land next turn, we get to go like Elf plus Wildgrowth Walker, which is pretty good. Do they have the We're Just Dead draw? Lands? I'm gonna lead on this, see if we can get a spell pierce. Another elf. That's a reason to lead on it too. So we can start with this. Next turn we'll be able to go 3rd elf plus Wildgrowth Walker, which is nice. Okay, there's the Curious Obsession. Worth noting they don't have a wizard yet. Okay, that's pretty sweet. I'm gonna start with this and see what happens. That resolved. Okay, I think I'm just gonna play this and then play this tapped. I can increase this for 4 as early as next turn. Next turn I can also Wildgrowth plus Jadelight Ranger, which is great. They do have Wizard's Retort up next turn, which is relevant. Potentially, I guess. They potentially have Wizard's Retort up. Tempest Shin, sure. Alright, so this is definitely just Wildgrowth Walker into Jadelight Ranger here. The old gain 12. Getting paid off here really well. Yeah, I think I leave that there. That digs to more Explore creatures. No reason to attack a 3/5 into a 4/4. Just undid a lot of their work there, which is nice. Wonderful. See Tempest Jin, stay back on defense. Probably lead on Branchwalker next turn, so they don't know if this Incubation is finding a Jadelight Ranger before they decide if they want to counterspell the Merfolk Branchwalker or not. Worth noting, they still don't have a second copy of... they still don't have a Wizard in play yet. What's the second copy of that? That's super aggressive. Wonder if they have a Merfolk Trickster in our future. If they have like Trickster plus Retort next turn, we could be in trouble. Sure. So I'm gonna start with this. Hey, Bilbao, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Welcome back. This gains a 6 if it resolves. It makes the Wildgrowth Walkers bigger, which is a pretty big deal. They know about this Incubation Incongruity, though, so like if they jam this, I can take one of their things off the table, or I can dig for another Explore creature. I think I actually want to dig for another Explore creature and just race them. That sounds great, actually. I can stay right there. I'm reading this as no... taking this to mean no, no Merfolk Trickster here. Otherwise, they would have stopped my Wildgrowth Walkers. So this is like an 11 ball here. And then next turn, they probably have to protect one of their things. Yeah. I think I'm okay with them countering this Incongruity because it's them using mana on their turn. It is worth noting the Incongruity can get Spell Pierced here, which kind of sucks. But they are going to be heading towards blocking duty soon for these Wildgrowth Walkers, which is nice. They only have 1 instant in here, so the Terramander can't pop off quite yet, which is good for me. Attempt to exile this. think they're pretty obligated to protect this. Yep. It kind of sucks giving them value off of Spell Pierce, but here's what it is. Yep. So I think I dig for an Explore creature here. So if I attack with everything, they can go like block, block, and I take that. I think I want to attack with all these elves here. So I think I'm actually going to take Merfolk Branchwalker here so that way I can cast this and still attack with all my elves. It's worth noting here, I know they don't have... Am I dead on the backswing? This is 4, 10, 15, 16 exactly, but they're obligated to block here, so I think I just smash with everything. Just like, let you figure it out. Just lets them eat a 3-2 here, but I'm kind of okay with that. The chip shots from the elves are real good. If they let these through, they have to block all the elves, so like they're obligated to block at least one of these Wildgrowth Walkers. If we take even one thing off the table here, they no longer have lethal in play, right? Because this will be 5, 11. Oh, I guess if they draw a land, they could have 15, 12. Yeah, they have to, I think they have to lose 2 things here, right? Yeah, they have to block with both Terramanders. They have to block with both their 1/1s here. And they're taking 6 down to 3. And I have 2 Wildgrowth Walkers in play and a bunch of Llanowar Elves still here. And even if they have land plus Curious Obsession, they have 3 spells in here. So if they have land, Curious Obsession, that's 8, 13, 16. Land, Curious Obsession kills me. They have land, Curious Obsession. This is a close game. We are dead to Curious Obsession. The 3rd Curious Obsession. Oh, that's an attack step. That attack is terrifying. So, Merfolk Trickster's their best draw here. Oh, tricky dick. So they can't pop this off. I think I attack with just this. And then I play 2 Krasis for 1. As blockers. So I have 2 flying blockers. They have Counterspell plus Dive Down. I'm in trouble here. Because they can, if they have Dive Down, they can block with Tempestian plus save their Tempestian from trading with my Wildgrowth Walker. And then they can Counterspell one of my Krasis and then kill me on the backswing, I think. 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. I guess I'm not done on the backswing if they have that. So worst case scenario here is Counterspell plus Dive Down. And if they don't have Dive Down and they elect to just chump block this Wildgrowth Walker, I have 3 lethal attackers again next turn, which is good for me. Plus my pile of elves. Their Mistcloak Herald here, just providing them a pretty constant stream of cards, which is good for them. Alright, well, I'm hoping for no counter spells here. I'm trying to think if this is the first time I've ever played Krasis for 1. I think it is. World's Worst Windrakes. Go. Any explore creature, obviously absurd draw next turn. This game really highlighting the power of Wildgrowth Walker, right? Like, each of those walkers gained us 9, so we gained 18 this game. They'd be at -5. They've dealt 25 points of damage to me. I think I shocked once. They've dealt like 23 points of damage to me. The standard format generates such good games of Magic. Like, win or lose, it's been a tight game with like a lot of interesting decision points. Yeah, I think this is just let's do this again. And then having the Krasis in play here actually gives us more lethal attackers next turn, because like they have to block all 3 of these, and then they have to block 3 of my 1/1s as well here. I think I just attack with everything. Merfolk Trickster is their best possible draw here again. So they need double Merfolk Trickster to not die to this combat step, right? Because they have 4 creatures, they go block, 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 block. And even if they block 1 more of these, they're still taking 3. Yeah, I'm dead to double Merfolk Trickster. I think if they had Merfolk Trickster, they'd have played a pre-combat here. Oh, they could have, they have 1 copy of, Blink. Oh, did we do it? I think we did it. We did it! Yay! Fish Lamp, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Whew. Whew. I'm shaking a little bit after that one. That was some good stuff. All right, Wurm's too slow here. Collision's great. Defensive Climb is actually like super relevant in this matchup a lot of the time. Lava Coil is quite wonderful. Do I leave the 3 climbs in? Maybe I just leave all 3 climbs in. Defensive Climb is like a hell of a drug in this matchup. People often ask about Vivien Reid, and I don't think she's good enough. She's like a 5-cost card that just gets Spell Pierced or Dovin down a lot of the time. Ravager Wurm is coming out because it's a 6-mana card that gets counterspelled. Their sideboard has, notably, they have 3 copies of Surge Mare, which is tough for us. They have 2 copies of Exclusion Mage. They have 2 copies of Deep Freeze. Things worth 2 copies of Entrancing Melody. Things to note are there's no copies of Sleep in their sideboard, which is a card that can blow us out in this matchup sometimes. I think I'm happy with this board plan. I would bring in Spell Pierces here if I had fit them into the build, but I don't think Negate's too clunky. Like, Spell Pierce is fine because it trades on resource efficiency with them, but it might be that this climb is worse than like Vivien Reid, even though she's awkward against Spell Pierce, but defensive climb has definitely won me a lot of games in this matchup before. This seems great, just like Lava Coil and Wildgrowth Walker Jadelight. Climb looking a little bit mediocre, but it's just gonna do that sometimes. Alright, so if my opponent passes with 2 up, I'm gonna play Lava Coil. If they pass with 1 up, I'll play Wildgrowth Walker. Yep. Intentionally not playing a blue source here to make them think I might be missing a color. It's super marginal either way. If they pass with all their mana up here, I'm probably going to play Hadana's Climb. I'm only going to play the Jadelight Ranger if they tap down to 1. If they leave 2 up, I am not playing Jadelight Ranger. Alright, sweet. Jadelight it is. Good solid curve here for us. This is my monster. It's very annoying. Nope, no more Explorer creatures over here. We're done. I've got the Wildgrowth Walker. Let's go to work. Next turn, depending on what we draw, might be a Krasis for 2 turn. If we draw another 2-drop, it might be Lava Coil plus Krasis. Entrancing Melody, sure, that's a good one. So now I think I just ship this climb in, because I can climb, flip the climb Lava Coil. And then this sets me up really nicely to be able to Krasis for 4 next turn, which is great. I'm gonna go ahead and Lava Coil the Terramander since it's their bigger card. And like, I'm at a high enough health total on the back of this Wildgrowth Walker that like, the Krasis is like gonna buffer health total a little bit more. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and attack before I do anything here. Because if they block with Tempest Shin, I can wing Temple and kill their Tempest Shin for free. So definitely want to attack before I do anything with this. Climb looking real good on this board. So they're pretty obligated to chump blocks. They don't want me to just gobble up their Tempest Shin. And they don't want to take a 10 ball either. Even if they counterspell this, I still have to draw to Lean to. If they don't counterspell this, they basically need their second copy of Entrancing Melody. Pretty happy with that trade. I'm ahead. I have another Krasis. Let's just stay ahead. Do you want me to eat both of your things? The fact that I drew Llanowar Elves is great here, because it means even if they let me eat both of their things here, I just go Growth Chamber Guardian plus Llanowar Elves for the turn. We're pretty far ahead at this point. My turn's probably going to be, depending on how they block. If they block and make me activate the climb, we'll go Growth Chamber plus Elf. Or just take, I'm just gonna do a 5 here. Since they just took that, I'm gonna go ahead and do this for 4 again. Sure. Cards please. Shock down to 19 and play this Elf here. I have to leave flying blockers back now, because otherwise Jadelight plus Climb is lethal. And now if they have another blocker, we might be moving into the defensive climb portion of the game. Do I just try and kill them here? I'm dead to land plus Curious Obsession. I don't think they have either of those cards. They could have a land, I guess. They have a Blink of an Eye here. Yeah, Link's the best draw for sure. Yeah. Untapped land there that doesn't hurt me is great. Yeah, I think we're moving into the defensive climb portion of the game. So they can attack me with both and put me to 1, but then they need a flying blocker as a follow-up, because otherwise the Growth Chamber Guardian floops and kills them. If I don't go to 1, that means defensive climb is online for next turn, which is nice. Alright, I'm just gonna make them have it. Man, they have it. That's unfortunate. I think I do this. Incongruity, while leaving them a 3/3 behind is not amazing for us. It does, Alright. Dead to stuff. So they're dead. Alright. Alright. So far, running hot. Good games of Magic and running hot. Let's keep it up, shall we? Let's keep it up. The adrenaline when you're running hot in a close game, that's why people play Magic. It's real good. It's a lot of fun. It's fun. Winning is fun on occasion, right? Let's try and keep being lucky.